Greetings, everyone. I'm Jori Richard, and this is the 11th card in the Major Arcana in the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck. The name of this card is Lust. The 11th card. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 is the energy of the moon. So it's that magnetic feminine energy. The male energy is of the sun, and then that would be electric. Hey, what's up, Organic Peace? So we have the Whore of Babylon, and she's free. She's naked, sitting on this beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, referring to the book of Revelation. You have the beast with the man's head, then the poet, the one with the snake head, and the lion. There's different beast heads in here. And she's tamed this creature, referring to that animal, lower self, that instinct that we have in us. And it doesn't mean that we should suppress certain things, but that we need to enter into ourselves and then tame certain thoughts. Our thoughts can go haywire, and I could be creating a scenario in my mind that hasn't even happened yet, something that is not going to happen, but it could be getting me all worked up and stressing out over it. That's why it's good to use a mantra like clean. If I'm thinking clean, 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 well, then I'm not focusing on all these earthly things, and I'm getting all stressed out and creating scenarios in my mind that are not even going to happen. Everything is cool. So this is when the higher self tames the lower self, that beast, that innate beast that is in each one of us. 666, the number of the beast. And the beast is you, and it's me. If you want to see what the beast of the book of Revelation looks like, go to the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror. But that beast comes out. No matter how much we don't want it to, it always shines its ugly face. But this card is showing that this woman, free in the spirit, but naked, not a care in the world, she doesn't care what people say about her or what they're thinking. She's free. She's tamed that animal inside of her, taming the lower self. And then she's reaching up, and there's a vial of blood, and that's the blood of the saints. And then you have the 10 shoots coming out of the vase, and that corresponds to the 10 sephira of the tree of life. And we can move, by studying the tree of life, we can have the keys to the universe and human thought. And once we know thyself, once I know myself and my thought patterns, and I can realize and think, wait a second, I've been here the whole time. I've been having a conversation with somebody in my head for the last 2 hours, and that doesn't even exist. And that would be the beast in my mind. I'm a Gemini. My mind is going 100 places at once. I'm overthinking things. I'm getting stressed out over things that are probably not even real. I'm just creating it all with my mind. So what I need to do is control that beast and be free, not care what other people think about me, not caring so much what other people are thinking. Even my friends, I gotta quit focusing my attention on, oh man, this person's thinking this about me, and then this is going to be all messed up now, and then this is going to happen. I need to tame that beast. I do not know the thoughts that are going through other people's mind, and I could be wrong. There's a big picture, and I'm not able to see it until I step back and get this lower self, this beast inside of me, under control. So these thoughts are not stressing me out. I need to just be in this moment right now. So she's tamed that beast. She's reaching up. She's drunk with the blood of the saints. And that's the point that I want to get at, when I'm just drunk on the blood of the saints. And where I overcome any thought patterns that program my mind and lead me down a path of destruction. When I overcome that, then I will be drunken off the blood of the saints. So that's a pretty big beast there too. Small woman, small naked woman, huge beast, which shows that this entity that we created our mind, this whole story that I'm telling about myself, that this person that I think that I am, and holding on to the past and not giving it up and letting my past define me, not being in the moment right now, this is a huge beast. This is something that my mind is creating that doesn't even exist. And once I realize that, then I can be in this moment and I will overcome and I will be in my higher self. This woman is in her higher self right there. She's in her natural clothes. The skin is the largest organ of our body. This is my clothes right here. This is just some Babylonian clothes that I put on. It's not my real clothes. My real clothes is my skin. So I just want to walk around naked and be a nudist and walk around in my backyard and give my soil back to the earth and breathe in the air and absorb the sunlight and convert it to vitamin D so my mind can be functioning at its maximum capacity. And that would be being in my higher self. People tell me all the time, when are you going to shave the beard? Well, the hair has a scientific reason. It's not just for looks. It's allowing me to connect to the universe, to channel information, and it increases my intuition and gives me power. That is why I'm keeping the beard and growing the hair long, because it makes me a powerful person. And I could pick up on things that other people that shave it all off are not going to be able to see. And if you look in the background here, it looks like what they're standing on are a bunch of faces, and the eyes are closed, a bunch of defeated people. So this woman is in her higher self. She has conquered the beast inside of her mind, the beast that we're all dealing with. She's in her higher self. She has overcame it, and they're treading upon the faces and all these thought forms that other people are holding, and other people try to impose and then infiltrate our minds and program us with things that are not beneficial, that lead us down the path of destruction. It's completely different if somebody is speaking the truth to us and they're programming our mind with good information that leads us down the right path. But that's not usually the case. Usually someone's trying to get over on us and enslave us, to plant a seed in our mind that when it is hatched, it's going to benefit somebody else. But my thoughts need to benefit me. And I love myself. Taming that wild beast in my mind. Hey, what up? How you doing?
Hey, thank you. Hey, I I'm feeling freaking amazing. I'm just sitting here in the dark with this light changing colors to like blue and green and red. And there's a fan and there's sounds of the crickets. And it's just life is beautiful. And I made a collage.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, is that the Thoth deck?
Yeah. This is the Thoth deck. This is the 11th card, Lust. And it's resembling she's taming this beast. All these
What
thoughts
is
in
the
our
card?
mind. Huh?
What is the card?
It's the 11th card in the major arcana. It's called Lust.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, that reminds me of Ganesh. Ganesh Ganesh rides the rat because the rat represents our mind and Ganesh is taming it. And the whole mind taming thing, that can be used for so many different for so many. Why is different in my vocabulary? I'm gonna I'm gonna get rid of that one. For so many variations of life is about taming the mind. Now, do you feel like you've tamed your mind?
My mind has been getting
Or do you,
shitty today, bro. Like I'm creating scenarios in my mind that don't even exist. I'm having conversations with people. Imagination just running wild, stressing me out, and I need to just uh, just with like a mantra, like clean, 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 clean. I can't be like stressing myself out and thinking all these crazy thoughts, and if I'm just I need to tame that beast. But what I'm saying is, today hasn't been a good day for me. My mind, and then I've been falling back into like a state of depression. And it's like,
dude,
where do these thoughts come from?
dude, the thoughts they come from your frequency. I mean, if you want to they come from outside of you, right? Like outside of you. I mean, they come out from a larger aspect of the mind than just the brain. The brain is like an antenna to receive the thoughts, and what determines the thoughts is your frequency. Whatever you're doing, and the frequency is measurement. So frequency is whatever you're doing frequently. So wherever you find yourself, and that determines the vibration, and that's what the thought is. The thought is a wave. It is a vibration that occurs, and you take it in, and you transform it and transmute it based upon your frequency, and exhale it as a new vibration. So for me, my deal was, it had always been ideas, like the imagination, because that's good that you notice that that's what it is. It's it's the imagination, and like I was sitting there, I'll have intense, vivid visions. My imagination will go on, and just for moments, and then I'll be like, okay, so I guess I just am actually doing that somewhere. Like, it's just me tapping into a alternate reality, an alternate dimension. Now, if I focus on that and do all the actions that it would take in order for that to have an effect on here, aka get into that frequency to create that vibration, then that will occur in my life. I just have to get to that frequency. If it's something intense, some crazy imagination, like, oh, I'm gonna have billions of people watching me on TV or whatever, or on a stage, how to get to that. It takes frequency is a measurement. it takes distance and location in order to climb up that ladder of frequency. Like, we can look at it as numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're climbing up the numbers. But first, you have to start somewhere, because it's not just numbers. It's just steps. It's staircase steps to existence. Now, and so what it is it's either resistance, because why are you attracting that vibration? It's because of your frequency, right? So there must be a reason you're attracting that vibration, because that vibration wants to exist here, right? Or
what if I don't want that vibration to exist? And then I'm getting freaked out, and I'm thinking, man, because I don't want to manifest. And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I'm still doing it. What do I got to do to stop creating this vibration that I don't want?
that's where the frequency comes in. See, that's what I'm trying to say, is that's where your frequency comes in. So you change your frequency. This isn't dogmatic, by the way. This is just what's being channeled through me.
So that really, all that I would have to do, like, in a nutshell, is just change my frequency, and then I'll get a different result. I just have to, like, shift right now.
Yeah. So, but what would you do to do that?
Am I picking up on something? Is it possible that I'm just creating things in my mind that don't even exist? But are those thoughts, like, what I'm saying is, are those thoughts out there? Are those shitty thoughts out there, and then I'm accepting it? You know what I'm getting at?
Okay, well, I mean, doesn't actually happen until circumstance creates it, or until, you are on that frequency to conjure up that and create that. But if we're looking at it beyond, we could just say, right? We could just say, you are creating thoughts, right? You're creating thoughts, you're creating imagination, but what's going on, like, on a deeper level, is beyond time, is time, past, present, future. All of that is happening now, and so anything you possibly imagine is you tapping in to another aspect of infinite possibility and infinite existence. And whatever it is that you're tapping into is based upon the frequency of the antenna that is just the beingness of you. So change the frequency by, if whatever vibration is vibing towards you, the frequency could be changed from the simplest act of having a thought. And that thought could be the thought of acceptance, or the thought of just feeling good. Like, have you ever just felt horrible and then just decided to just embody a feeling that you've had at one point? Because all the feelings that you've had at one point are points to expand on in the now, to grasp onto, to bring here. That's why we're able to imagine, is to bring it here, is to bring it into reality. But if you're having thoughts of, like, ooh, I want to kill this person, You know, it's like something in you. There's a reason something in you wants to do that,
What about
right?
like
But if you just,
what
but
if
if you
what if
change
there's a
that thought into
program?
just,
What if there's a program running in my mind where it actually, if anything good starts happening in my life, my mind tries to start sabotaging it subconsciously. How do I change that way?
can you say that again?
If I have something good in my life, something's going really good, and I'm like, yes, this is awesome. I love it. I love life. Then, for example, let's say like a girl, right? I'm seeing a girl, she makes me really happy. I love spending time with her. But then my mind is like, this is something good. Let's destroy it. And it's just like a subconscious program. It's just trying to get me to destroy everything, sending out a destruction where I'm not happy.
Well, what I like to do at that point may not be very helpful socially, but like philosophically, it's cool. But I just look at it and I just observe. I just observe that, and I'm like, wow, this is really what's occurring. And I think about as above, so below, right? I think about as above, so below, and I think about ideas like that I have realized and realized to be existence. And I just see that this is an observation of the universe, whatever's occurring in me, and it's chaos. And are we really searching for pure happiness, or is it, as they always say, balance? And the pendulum swings from right to left, and that's a swing of your emotion. That's the roller coaster ride that is this trip that we're tripping.
Hey, what's that bubbling sound?
Do what?
Yeah, it sounds like the wind or something blowing against your phone.
Oh, is it too loud?
It just sounds like.
Oh, I guess I could have just sat over here, right? But that was the fan.
Okay. Even that had a purpose.
Of course, yeah. Even that, yeah. Right. And you swing this way in order to swing back the other way. Maybe we're only focused on one aspect of ourselves, and hey, this is just a theory. This is just a spot of the moment. Okay, it exists somewhere, so I'm pulling it here. I'm not turning here into that. But what if there's two aspects of us? A positive and a negative aspect. And we're so focused on the positive. Happiness. We need happiness. But then there's another side of us, which is like a whole another part of our conscious mind that is wanting the complete opposite. It's wanting death, destruction, and they're constantly fighting each other, and we're just focused on this side, but really what we need to do is balance them. But what we are doing is balancing them. We're not even we don't even need to try to balance them. Because as you say, you're going through life, you're feeling happy, you're feeling good, and then something happens. It's balancing. And so the thought that I was going to say of like, you're feeling like eating all the guacamole, you're feeling like killing your neighbor, just bring in a new frequency. A frequency that you've had before, a point that can be expanded upon and say, hey, it's a beautiful day. And I accept this moment. Yay. Okay. So yeah.
It's a beautiful moment, and I accept it.
But it's not just the words. It's not just the words, you know. It's just like feeling that, right? But can you just, and so that's bringing a frequency into your frequency to try to transform your frequency. But can the frequency be yeah, it can. It can. But that takes certain ideas, certain concepts, certain sparks in the mind to explode it, certain reactions, certain chemical reactions, certain substances.
That looks like something cool.
It's a substance.
I just wish that like my mind would flip in the other direction where I truly believed I'm like, okay, I understand everything is eventually going to break down, wear and tear, destruct in the end, but like I wish my mind focused on like, man, I just keep manifesting good things for myself. I can't even help it. I just keep thinking positive and I just keep getting more good things. But like
Yeah, because that's all it is. That's all it is a feeling. Because either way, both of those things are happening. And it's just whatever you're focusing on in order to create your feelings. So, like, because that's all we really want. That's all we desire is to feel a certain way, correct? Or not feel a certain way. So you just do something to, you know, change those feelings, which, like I said about frequency, is frequently. That's why people do mantras. That's why people do affirmations.
That's why people get off of work at 12 o'clock at night and then they get a bottle of vodka and then they drink the whole thing and then they smoke some and then they just like meditate like I gotta stop destroying things. Like
Yeah, but well, the thing is, they're doing that, right? But they're not doing it like with the intent of having positive feelings. They're talking down on themselves. They're like, I'm drinking this is horrible for me, and I'm smoking. I shouldn't be doing that because it's illegal. You know, and then they're saying, oh, this job, and they're focusing on that. And as they're focusing on that,
they're gonna get more. I would get more of it.
Yeah, and then you're like, and then you're at this point where you're sitting there and you're like, I'm focusing on all this negativity. And it's all of my creation. I did this. You know? Yeah, you did it, but you're doing everything. You're doing everything. And the frequency can be shifted, right? Through frequent reminders. Right? But yeah, and so but you end up beating yourself up. And so that's not really a path to go down. I'd say the path to go down would be the path of saying, yo, I did manifest this situation. You know, just look at all the little things. Just look at all the little beauties and intricacies. I mean, I have horrible feelings and stuff like that, and I'm like, shit, and I regret, you know, I get intense, sometimes get intense regret and intense anxiety, but I'm not sure what happened. I just was like, these things will happen, and then I can just go on. And if I have a certain calling to create or do something, that's just what needs to happen. That's the frequency that I need to be at. And if there's a certain calling that has to do with the frequency that's beyond my current frequency, a vibration, attracting a vibration that's beyond my current frequency, then that's whenever I'll try to hop in that, I'll try to match that frequency with that vibration. But it's amazing the modern human can have an entire conversation and say and express so many different words with just using a few filler words, and then the words frequency and vibration and energy over and over. It's beautiful. It makes so much sense. 3 words. Trinity. Father, Son. Oh, geez. That's the Trinity. Frequency, vibration, and energy.
Father, Son, and the Holy Guacamole Spirit.
Yeah, guacamole. But yeah, your voice, I think I already told you this, but your voice sounds deja vu.
So meaning that you're like experiencing deja vu right now.
With your voice, yes. But it has happened before. And it has happened before. And anything that you're imagining has happened before. And sometimes, and I used to be at a point where I would meditate. I would meditate for like 2 hours at night. And then during the meditation, I would think of like a banana and food and stuff. And then I'd be like, and I would visualize it, right? Because I was hungry. And then what would happen was I would, oh yeah, see? And then I would think about it, and then I'd be like, all right, shit, I created it. I manifested this. I guess I'm going to have to go do this, since it was a thought creation that occurred in my head. But in meditation, you're supposed to just let it all go through. And me lately, I haven't really been doing too much of that, because I can do that also, I can do that actively by remembering it, by remembering these rules, learning these rules, not the rules, but the imaginations and the conceptualizations that lead to building growth and expansion. And then I will build, grow, and expand into the certain area that I'm building, growing, and expanding in. But my thing is, like, I realize I could be growing, building, and expanding into infinite different areas. So is this really the best area you want me? Yeah, it is. Now, for this moment. But this area will never always be this area in this moment, because in this moment, this area is infinite locations. It's infinite areas. It's infinite moments. So then it's okay.
I wish I could.
Okay.
I want to enjoy this moment so much more. I hate this ball of anxiety that's like I just want it gone. I need to tame that beast, man. Because it is a beautiful moment. Like, really, everything's cool. Everything's cool. There's nothing wrong.
I feel you, dude.
Why do I always think that there's something wrong?
I feel you. I feel you. And that could be, why do we always think that something's wrong? That could be anything. And it is anything, right? But yeah, I mean, most of our problems, like, right, like most of our problems where we realize we don't like have to have this problem and we're only perceiving it as a problem, and then that makes it even worse. Oh, cool. But like, if you're perceiving it to be a problem, then it's a problem, because that's all a problem is what you perceive to be a problem. There's no problems outside of your perception. So yeah, like, whenever there's problems, it's like, dang, there's problems. And I mean, there's people around me currently, no problems. Me earlier, in the future, whatever, maybe not in the future, but earlier, was very, like, you know, I was feeling problematic, like, oh, there's all these problems. But then I was just like, whatever. Because I realized whenever I wake up in the morning, or whenever I'm falling asleep, especially whenever I wake up in the morning, there'll just be random thoughts. You'll be like, giraffe, purple giraffe, floating manta ray, floating down the sky, you know? Or something like that, or you'll think you're somebody else whenever you first wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
like,
I know.
it'll be something that it'll be something that's in your life, right? But it'll be like something that you would never, like, consciously, like, think about in that manner. It's just because the thoughts are just flooding in. They're entities.
Man. I need to get this shit right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you?
Or do I just keep on going, and then no matter what I do, it's all meant to be anyways. And even if my life is an example of what not to do, well, at least I fulfilled my purpose. But then I don't want it to be that. I want the things that I want. And I feel like I want more control over what's going on the outside, but really, is there any outside at all? And it's all in my imagination. And really, it's like, I do have absolute control, but I'm just manifesting crap by talking down to myself, by saying it's like, oh man, you always fuck things up. Just like the past and your other relationships. It's like, Jori, it's like, how could you be so fucking stupid? Like, this is what my mind is calling me stupid. And it's like, just throw in the towel. Just give up. Like, what am I even fighting for? It's like I'm fighting a battle that I lose every time.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, that's the human, that's humans. And if that's really the way that you're feeling, then yeah, there's a reason that you're feeling that way. And yeah, there's there's something out there for you that's more than just being an example of what not to do. like you. And what you said about everything being all right, you know, in the end, and blah 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 blah. Like, it sounds cheesy, but like, it's true. And in this moment, you can just do all it is in this moment that you know will take you into your place of bliss. For me, it's this right now. What's happening? Don't know why, that this is the place of bliss, to be sitting right here. It's just, you know, I mean, there's so much other forms of bliss, right? And there's all these doubts, right? And I don't follow the doubts, because the doubts are usually like, oh, you could be so much more, you know, or you could be da 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 da. And I realize that I do realize that those are tapping into a form of myself that is, you know, has all that greater abilities. And do I really have to follow that? I can by doing the few actions if it's myself that feels like it's famous, feels like it's rich and famous, and it's a celebrity, and it's you know, has a bunch of money and is traveling and hanging out with a bunch of like famous rappers and stuff. You know, that could be why, that could be who's sending me that. You're constantly being contacted by alternate versions of yourself, like, but like, you don't have to listen to them, because it could be that, it could be myself, it could be myself that is a criminal, and you know, was doing really good with the graffiti career, right? But started doing like murders or something, you know, and so that's why I'm having whatever thought it is that I'm having. You know, I can take that message from that higher, you know, I'm not even saying higher self, because there's infinite versions of self. So I take that message from myself. And so this is like saying, so this is looping it around and saying, your thoughts aren't yours, but they also are, because they're sent to you by other versions of yourself, some of them. That's why they're so wacko, crazy, and out there. But then there's a version of myself that says, you need to start meditating and practicing leaving your body, because that's how you'll gain greater focus and clarity and awareness in this existence, you know? But no matter what, out of all your imaginations, I'm starting to think none of our imaginations will actually ever occur here. I mean, they can't. They can occur here, and they are occurring here because they're occurring here in our imagination. But in its own way, because it's here, and not where it's directly being channeled to be here from. If that makes any sense.
Like, it's not the thoughts. Like, just from having the thoughts doesn't mean that the thing is going to manifest. What the thoughts are doing to me, it's changing the whole structure of the molecules and everything within me. And then just from focusing on something in my mind, then it puts me into a completely different vibration. So it's almost like the thoughts are changing my whole entire being. And then once I speak it, then it takes upon flesh. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, yeah. We're here maneuvering, figuring out our godhood. That's what's going on. That's going on. And notice how I sat and I was like, I'm feeling good. Just because I had that feeling, and then I just went with it. And if I have another feeling of I'm feeling bad, you know what? I'll probably go with that too. Because over here, it's all about intuition and inspiration. That's what we live off of. We live off the intuition and the inspiration. And that comes from the experience. That comes from just going with the flow of whatever thoughts may arise, feelings, but knowing that the certain thoughts that arise, the certain feelings that arise, aren't just, they don't have to exist. And any others of them can exist. And they are. And so they can exist here. Because here is everywhere. So that's sort of just an acceptance of life and of emotions. Have you ever known anything beyond the pendulum swing of balance? Like, have you ever known anything beyond that, of those feelings?
No, I've been, I guess, like the feelings that I have and my experience and then what is going on inside of my mind, that's just, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it gets strange. It gets strange because I'll be at a point where I'll be having these thoughts, and there'll be thoughts from a complete other direction saying, not those thoughts, not those thoughts, not those thoughts, not those thoughts. You're wrong. You're wrong. Is it really man versus thought out here? Is it really man versus thought? Versus idea? God versus creation? Versus, manifestation? Tools? I mean, they're using us as tools, right? They're using us as tools to exist here. And why not us use them? We are using them. And we'll never not be using them. It's a symbiotic relationship between vibes, a symbiotic relationship between vibes. And, I'll have, I say all this now, but, this shows me this is what I know. Right? So it's in there. And decisions, the answers will appear. Oh, the topic is the same as it always is. The mind, oneness, psychic abilities.
Just controlling that beast that's in my mind, that subconscious program that I'm giving energy to because I believe that it's there, and then my belief that it's there actually makes it real. But like, it truly feels like that there's a part of me that's trying to destroy anything good that comes into my life.
Well, you know, that could be something. That could be an archon, or like, you know, some sort of force, some parasitic force, like in your gut. Like that could be it. Like, I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting the possibilities of, like, I mean, of course it is just your mind, because all is the mind. And if it were a part of you, if a demon possessing you, it would also be a part of you that is making you, you know, do that. So I'd say let go.
But then, if that struggle wasn't even going on in my mind, would I even have made a video? Like, would I even have created any artwork? Like, for example, like I get mad at my dad, and then just because of that anger, it caused me to create tons of art. Like, I spent a lot of time in Gary, Indiana, and like when I was doing that, I was actually trying to get killed because I was depressed that a girl broke up with me. But then because of that, I took pictures of broken down houses, and I ventured in the areas that people would have never even went. And then I got artwork that the only way to get it is they actually put your life on the line. So is that a good thing? Because if I didn't go through all this turmoil and mixed messages and negative thoughts going through my head, like, what would my life experience even be about?
Right. Like, yeah, it's all for the art. You know, it's all for that creation. It's all for that expansion. So, you know, anytime I've felt like a certain way, it's like I just turn on the camera, and there it is. Here you are. This is the work. You are being watched from infinite different perspectives, infinite different angles. Always, right? The camera's always on. It's always a play. It's always an art show. It's always an art show to be experienced, to be, you know, to create, to direct. We're directing this. We're directing this show. What's up, Jakar? Peace and love. This has been an intense one, talking about the mind, talking about controlling the mind, taming the mind, the imagination, wandering imagination. We talk about how creativity is the most powerful thing, right? It's the most powerful thing, and it's what, you know, it's what does all of this. It's what manifests all of this. But simultaneously, there are parts of us that are manifesting crappy situations, you know, and it's just the imagination. It's imagination. It really is the imagination. It's just another form of the imagination. So what's with the dark imagination? What's with the dark imagination? I say it's balance. I say it's balance, and it's the pendulum swing, and it's here for expansion as well. It's just that other side. And if you can know, okay, you know how you want to feel, right? You just know how you want to feel, and that is how you don't want to feel. So just go with how you want to feel, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
They always leave this door unlocked. I need to lock it because some lady goes in there and then shits all over the place.
Did she really?
Yeah, it's really bad. since
That's actually really fun.
they specifically told me, do not let Elaine in that bathroom.
Yeah? What's up? Okay. Okay. So, yeah, it's just something. It's just something. So what I was going at was like, just do it. Just do it. It sounds so hard. It sounds impossible.
I'm just gonna try to just let it go and just be, and then just realize, hey, this is like the same story that just keeps on getting told over and over again, and I gotta just like step off to the side and just like, hey, if that's the way it's gonna play out, let it be. And then from just letting it go, I'll end up getting a completely different result than if I'm just stressing, because then even if I'm trying to make things perfect, and it's like I'm trying to manifest something perfect, like wouldn't that be resisting what is going on? Like any type of resistance, even if I'm resisting the negative.
Resisting resistance. Right? How about that one? Resisting resistance.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to resist the
That's
resistance.
still resistance.
Huh?
That's still resistance, though. Maybe the resistance there is there because the resistance know. But it depends on what resistance is. You know, it depends on which resistance. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, there'd be a resistance towards something you want, right?
So it's like I'm trying to let everything go its natural flow. Just like a river, the water has to flow naturally, and then you don't want to get in the way of it. But then, like, I could be getting in the way if I'm just trying so hard not to resist. Let it be.
Well,
Oh, let it be.
well, I mean, maybe, okay, so, I mean, maybe you know those things, right? So, I mean, just like repetition, I guess, of remembering.
Hey, I got 19 seconds left. I'm still
Alright.
gonna get drunk when I get out of work. So maybe
Alright.
I'm gonna get back on here and then make a crazy
Well,
video.